y'all don't even know that, you know, the KKK was created by the Democrats. Back in the 1800s, the Republicans were predominant. There was a lot of black Republicans down south. A lot of black, and the Republicans actually represented more or less racial integration, racial equality. It was the Democrats who the KKK was formed under. They were the ones who used to go to the voting polls and basically beat up blacks, vote intimidation, and that was all done under the Star Spangled Banner flag. So it wasn't even done under the Confederacy, it was done under the regular flag. They're the ones who basically changed the game with this whole lynching. They're the ones who started wearing the hoods. Now you got Democrats and people think, oh, Democrats are for minorities. The origination, it wasn't.
Many of those people were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. So this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson's coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week, and is it Thomas Jefferson the week after? You know, you really do have to ask yourself, where does it stop? Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
Not surprisingly, Black Lives Matter is calling for a ban on all Confederate flags and groups in the United States, and an Islamic organization founded in Washington, D.C. with links to Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood is also weighing in, urging all state and local governments to remove and eliminate any and all symbols of the Civil War South. What does the Muslim Brotherhood have to say about this?
It was the Democrats who the KKK was formed under. They were the ones who used to go to the voting polls and basically beat up blacks, vote intimidation, and that was all done under the Star Spangled Banner flag. So it wasn't even done under the Confederacy, it was done under the regular flag.
Allah is the greatest deceiver. Is one of his 99 names is the great deceiver. So therefore what happened is when you are warring against your enemy, it's considered righteousness. Even when you lie, or even when you don't tell them the truth, even when you conjure a story, that the only way to defeat the West and to defeat anything is by disinformation. How to, to teach those young men, the one they chose, how to infiltrate culture and bring about how to change the culture with disinformation.
Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, he donated $20 million to establish an Islamic studies program at Harvard, another $20 million at Georgetown. He's the largest shareholder in News Corp, which is the parent company of Fox News. Mm-hmm. He's the second largest shareholder in Twitter. I mean, corporations, politicians, presidents, senators, you name it, the Saudis have their tentacles in all of it. And so we need to recognize that the fox is in the chicken coop. Multiple foxes are in the chicken coop, and they have our presidents by the throat.
So it's so stupid, man. College students walking around, tiki torches, talking acting a fool. But, what it boils down to, even bigger than that, man, is that these politicians are using these ignorant fuckers to basically push their agenda. They want to have a bunch of people going at each other, black, white, Mexican, Asian. They want a race war. These people, man, they use these other people as foot soldiers. They're not going to get out there and come down off their ivory towers and put in any work. Most of these guys have never even threw a punch at anybody. But they'll let you guys do it all day and sacrifice yourself. So, you guys got to wake up, man. It's all about money. It ain't about color. At the very top, it could be, we can flip the script and be in Africa. It's all about money. They're over there, the top Africans are exploiting the poor Africans. You go to China. The rich Chinese are exploiting the poor Chinese. Just in this country, we have the race or racial thing, so it's another angle for them to create fear. You know, fear of them not being able to live at the top of the hill and you at the bottom of the hill. You know?
See, the Saudis are funny. They do two dances. They're hypocrites of the purest, but they've created this monster, but they're also protecting themselves from the monster they created because they want to remain in power because they're pigs. You know, they're not living a truly religious Islamic life. Everyone knows they're hypocrites. Mm-hmm. They've got their harems, they've got their alcohol, they've got their swanky condominiums in Morocco where they go and, you know, do all their drugs, and they know they're not living according to the laws that they impose on the people. And so they fund the radicals, but then the radicals want to throw them out because there's no room for a monarchy, for a king in Islam. They want a caliphate. Right. Mm-hmm. They want an Islamic form of government. So on one hand, the Saudis fund the monster. On the other hand, they fight the monster.
Do your research.
What happened, and I said this back in November, I said, watch to see what Obama does at Hanukkah. Because Hanukkah and Purim are pictures of Antiochus Epiphanes as the anti-Messiah, Antichrist, and Purim is a picture of Haman as the Antichrist. Watch what happens, and what does he do on Hanukkah? That's when he and Kerry push this thing to the United Nations. They curse Israel, and by that, curse America. And at that point, I thought this is over with. You know, the death nail was just put in the door on this thing, but yet Trump steps in and with one phrase turns it in reverse. And puts someone in the United Nations as the ambassador that, I mean, Nikki Haley, what a saint of a woman. She is finally articulating what we as Americans want articulated in the United Nations.
The Lord's raising up an Esther and a Cyrus to Obama's Haman and Antiochus. Absolutely.
Amen.